Welcome to my bold and beautiful today's show channel. I hope today fantastic for everyone. Please hit the subscribes button and give this video thumbs up. Daphne admitted she was in love with Carter. In a dressing room, all Carter could think about was his whirlwind romance with Hope. When Zende walked in, Carter had to stop dreaming of Hope. Zende was concerned about the conversation he had just had with Daphne. "Look, man, I don't mean to pry, but what is the deal with you two?" Zende asked. Carter insisted that there was nothing at all between him and Daphne, but Zende claimed that was not the impression he got. Zende said that Daphne's intentions were pretty clear, but Carter was sure that he and Hope could still work things out. "I found something with Hope. Something worth fighting for. I'm not giving up on her," Carter said. Katie confronted Daphne and asked if she had been using him. Katie told her that she had heard the conversation that Daphne had with Zende about her plot to break up Carter and Hope. "Am I supposed to apologize for helping my friend? For helping my friend regain the company of her family?" Daphne asked. Katie wondered if Daphne was still playing Carter. Daphne accused Katie of still harboring feelings with Carter, as she knew they had a past relationship. Katie said Carter was a dear friend, so she was just concerned and wanted answers from Daphne. "Are you only in Los Angeles to do Steffi's dirty work?" she asked. Daphne assured Katie that she didn't have to worry, but Katie didn't care what Daphne said and gave her a warning. "If you think that I'm going to let you play with someone I care about, someone who's involved with my niece and my family, you don't know me very well, 'cause I am not going to let that happen," she said. Daphne told a snarky Katie that she cared about Carter and her intentions were sincere, but Katie didn't buy it. "I guess I'm just curious about what your intentions actually are," Katie said. Daphne admitted her feelings for Carter were real. "Something has happened to me, Katie, something I've hardly experienced. Love," she said. Katie gave a look that said she didn't believe Daphne at all. "I understand your skepticism, but when I came to LA, I didn't know about Carter. I didn't know that he was a remarkable man," Daphne explained. "Believe me, I didn't expect to fall for him, but I have," she added. Just then, Carter appeared and asked what was going on. Daphne said she and Katie had just been talking about how much they care for Carter and want the best for him. Brooke couldn't stop gushing over how wonderful the fashion show went to a friend on the phone. She hung up when Hope entered the room. Hope seemed to be in a good mood for a change and congratulated her mom on her success. "The talk of the fashion world," she said. Brooke told Hope she wished that she were there, but Hope knew it would have been awkward. "This time away has given me a moment to reflect and do some soul-searching. I am certainly beginning to see that how Carter and I went about things was wrong," Hope admitted. She then asked where things stood between Brooke and Ridge. "I can't deny it. There was definite chemistry up there on stage, whether Ridge wants to believe it or not," Brooke said. Hope was impressed that her mother made it on stage despite accidentally being in the vault with Taylor. Hope then apologized for her behavior. "Mom, I'm sorry. I know things would be different between you and Ridge if Carter and I hadn't done what we did with the coup and everything. I never really meant for that to interfere with your life. If you say you want to be with Ridge, then I want that with you, too," she said. Brooke then repeated her favorite line. "He is my destiny and I am still his Logan," Brooke told Hope. She could feel it when Ridge looked at her up on stage. In Eric's office, Ridge told his dad that he appreciated his talk about reuniting with Brooke, but he was with Taylor now and that was that. Eric still didn't buy what Ridge had to sell. "She has not given up on you, in spite of the way that you treated her," Eric said. Ridge pointed out that Eric also treated Brooke horribly when he thought she had betrayed the company. Eric admitted he was wrong, and so was Ridge. "You made a big mistake, and it's time you admit that, so that you could go on with your life, with Brooke," Eric said. Ridge was still argumentative. "You don't get to play God with my life," Ridge declared. Eric still didn't care, saying, "You have to stop living your life like this. We both know where this ends. It ends with you and Brooke." Eric pointed out that Ridge had spent half his life with Brooke, but Ridge noted that Taylor was also special to him. "She makes me happy," Ridge said. Eric argued that Taylor was not the love of Ridge's life, Brooke was. Ridge still insisted that he was committed to someone else. Eric refused to give up. "Go back to Brooke. It's where you belong, Eric advised. After Eric left the office, Brooke walked in. Brooke and Ridge made small talk about the fashion show. Brooke pointed out that people liked seeing them on the runway. The whole fashion industry wants us back together. I know I want that. Do you want that too? Brooke asked. Ridge told Brooke that the moment on the runway wasn't real. It was staged. It was a business decision. That's all, he said. Brooke disagreed. Yes, it was about fashion, but it was also about us, she said. Brooke put her arms around Ridge and declared, I am your Logan, now and always. Does Carter have a long-lost child? The bold and the beautiful spoilers have everyone asking the same thing. Does Carter have a long-lost child? And if so, is he going to have his own storyline soon where he gets reconnected with his child the same way that Finn recently did with Luna? Maybe. Keep reading below for everything you need to know. Fans are hoping Carter Walton will have a storyline soon. A lot of fans would agree that when it comes to Carter Walton, it seems like he's nothing more than just the hot piece here in this fictional town of Los Angeles. That, or his breaking relationships and marriages if he's not trying to take over Forrester Creations. But, a lot of fans of the show would like to see the character given a storyline with a little more deeper meaning. This, so fans can also have the opportunity to dig a little deeper into Carter's history. Even though he's been on the show for many long years now, viewers still haven't learned everything there is to know about him. That, and they also don't know what it is that really makes him tick. A long-lost child would be a great new storyline. That's why having a storyline in which Carter is introduced to his long-lost daughter or son will help fans connect the dots to his past. It might be a little dramatic, but it would be worth getting a little insight into who this man really is. After all, he's been nothing more than just eye candy for viewers while other men like Bill and Ridge have been dominating most of the storylines throughout the years. It's time for a change, right? Then again, the bold and the beautiful fans will simply have to tune in each and every day to find out what will happen next. Watch this space as we have a feeling much more is about to go down. Eric's insistence, Daphne's cover, Zende's bombshell. The bold and the beautiful is here. In tomorrow's episode, fans can expect Eric Forrester to justify his actions. Zende Forrester Dominguez drops a bombshell on Carter Walton. Meanwhile, Daphne Rose tries to explain herself to Katie Logan. Hope Logan's support. Brooke is yapping on the phone about her magical runway moment with Ridge Forrester. Hope Logan enters the room, so her mom wraps up the call. Hope calls it the talk of the fashion world. Hope does seem genuinely happy for her mother. Brooke brings up that it must have been difficult for Hope to not be at the fashion show. It has given Hope time for reflection and soul-searching. Hope says the takeover was wrong. Brooke asks how things stand with Carter now. Hope says it's complicated and asks about Bridge. Read more, find out what happened on the last episode of B&B. Brooke gushes about the magic on stage with Ridge again. Hope chuckles over Taylor Hayes locking them in the vault. The younger woman adds that Brooke still made it out on the stage on time to have her magical moment with Ridge. Hope suddenly gets emotional. As they talk, Hope says she wants to make things right. If her mother wants to be with Ridge, then that's what she wants too. Read this, the latest B&B comings and goings. Ridge Forrester explodes. At Forrester Creations, Ridge tells Eric he appreciates the showstopper. Eric gushes about Brooke's devotion to Ridge despite how he treated her. Ridge blows up. Eric tells his son that he needs to admit he made a huge mistake and get back to living his life with Brooke. Ridge blows up and accuses his father of playing God with his life. Ridge is yelling but Eric continues justifying his actions. Eric says Ridge is the one who needs to stop waffling between two women. They both know where this ends. You with Brooke. Ridge reminds his father that Taylor is special, too. Eric agrees but doesn't think she's the love of Ridge's life. Eric has always been Team Bridge and that will never stop. Brooke Logan's reunion plea. After Eric leaves, Brooke enters Ridge's office. Brooke is excited about the comments. Ridge seems uncomfortable and unhappy. Brooke cuts him off to talk about chemistry and how the entire fashion industry wants Bridge to reunite. Does Ridge want that, too? Ridge paces across the room as Brooke babbles about their runway moment. Ridge reminds Brooke that it was not real, it was staged. Brooke laughs it off and says Eric wants them together. The blonde continues making her reunion pitch. She wraps her arms around Ridge's neck and reminds him that she's his Logan, forever. Zende Forrester Dominguez's bombshell. Carter is in another room at FC. The COO looks at his phone in frustration. Guess that means no response from Hope. Carter thinks back to his relationship with the disgraced designer. Zende interrupts, saying they need to talk. It's about Daphne. Carter doesn't understand. Zende brings up walking in on Carter and Daphne. What's the deal with you two? Carter denies that anything is going on and acts confused. Now Zende is the confused one. Zende says Daphne's intentions are very clear. Carter says his focus is on Hope, once he gets her back. Carter refuses to give up on her. Zende keeps asking if he's sure. Why would he not want Daphne Rose? Daphne Rose explains. Katie continues confronting Daphne about what she's been doing to Carter. Daphne refuses to apologize for helping a friend. Katie demands a straight answer. Are you still playing Carter? Daphne accuses her rival of being jealous. Katie wants to know if the nose is just there to do Steffi Forrester Finnegan's dirty work. Read this, the bold and the beautiful spoilers, 3 things Liam must do before he dies. The perfumer assures her there is no need to worry, the Forresters have their company back. Katie warns that Daphne better watch her step. Katie wants to know if Daphne cares about Carter, or if she just believes whatever Steffi tells her. The nose insists her feelings for Carter are genuine. She's in love. Katie is speechless and in total disbelief. Daphne tries to explain. Katie calls it a game. The nose said it was never a game, it was to get the company back for the Forresters. Katie slowly says, so, you're in love with Carter. Right then is when Carter just happens to interrupt. Carter wants to know what's going on. Daphne says they were just talking about how much they both care about him. Carter looks confused again. Hope questions Liam's choices. Hope has found it curious that she has not heard from Liam in a while, but she has been dealing with her own problems and Liam was not at the forefront of her mind. She has her heartache to deal with, as well as her humiliation at being kicked out of Forrester Creations again. However, Hope is about to learn that Liam has some new living arrangements that leave her a bit perplexed. Did Liam actually move in with Steffi since she and Finn are 2 of the only people who know about his condition? Did they promise to take care of him or does he just want to spend as much time with Kelly as possible? Will Hope question why he has not been around to see Beth, his other daughter? What will Liam's explanation be? Hope might feel she has to do some digging to figure out what is really going on. She might want to start with Bill and learn that he and Liam had a major fight and he hasn't heard from him since. Mutual admiration. The Forrester Creations crowd has done nothing but congratulate themselves and each other on a job well done since Monday, and that's not about to end. Will tells Elektra how proud he is of her work and her success. Her jewelry creations were a sensation, and Elektra is on her way. Elektra is enamored by Will and all his compliments, but is she ready to take things to the next level yet? She knows she has competition from Luna Nozawa and that is weighing on her mind. Will Luna be able to distract Will enough to seduce him? Elektra doesn't want to feel pressure, so at least Will is not pressuring her, but Luna might step in and offer something that Elektra can't give Will. At least Will is a stand-up guy, but Luna could be too much for him. In the opulent, mirror-lined dressing room of Forrester Creations, Carter Walton stood alone, his reflection betraying the turmoil beneath his composed exterior. The faint hum of post-show celebrations buzzed beyond the closed door, but all he could hear was the echo of Hope Logan's laughter from memories now tinged with regret. His fingers absently traced the edge of a velvet chaise as he replayed their whirlwind romance, the stolen glances in design meetings, the clandestine kisses that had ignited like wildfire, and the catastrophic coup that had reduced it all to ashes. The scent of her floral perfume seemed to linger in the air, a cruel reminder of what he'd lost. When Zende Forrester Dominguez barged in, his entrance sharp as a knife through silk, Carter schooled his features into neutrality, though the interruption felt like a lifeline yanking him from drowning in nostalgia. Zende's brow furrowed with concern, his tone a blend of brotherly protectiveness and intrigue as he cut to the chase. What's the deal with you and Daphne? Carter's denial was swift, polished from repetition, but Zende's skepticism hung heavy. Man, that's not the vibe she's putting out, he pressed, leaning against the doorframe, arms crossed. Carter's jaw tightened, his resolve hardening like tempered steel. What hope and I had, it's worth fighting for, he insisted, though the words tasted hollow even to him. Across the hall, in a sunlit office where the scent of fresh roses mingled with tension, Katie Logan's piercing gaze locked onto Daphne Rose, whose demure facade faltered under the weight of accusation. Katie's voice, sharp as stilettos, sliced through the room. Using Carter to do Steffi's dirty work? Daphne's laugh, light yet brittle, masked the storm beneath. Should I apologize for loyalty? She retorted, her eyes flashing with defiance. The air crackled as Katie volleyed back, exposing Daphne's thinly veiled scheme to destabilize Carter and Hope, her maternal instincts aflame. Daphne's counter, a sly insinuation about Katie's unresolved feelings for Carter, landed like a well-aimed dart, but Katie stood firm, her warning a thunderclap, harm my family, and you'll wish you'd never set foot in LA. As Daphne's confession of love hung between them, fragile as lace, Carter's sudden appearance froze the scene. Daphne's recovery was seamless, weaving their confrontation into a tapestry of concern, but Katie's silent glare promised storms ahead. Meanwhile, Brooke Logan's voice trilled like champagne bubbles through her phone, gushing to a Fashion Week insider about the electricity between her and Ridge on the runway. The memory of their hands brushing backstage sent a shiver down her spine, a spark she'd clung to like scripture. When Hope entered, Brooke's effervescence dimmed, replaced by maternal worry. Hope's apology, raw and trembling, unraveled Brooke's composure. I never wanted to fracture your destiny, Hope whispered, her voice cracking under the weight of guilt. Brooke's eyes softened, her mantra, "Here's my destiny," spilling forth like a prayer, as if repetition could mend the fissures in their fractured family. Yet, in Eric Forrester's mahogany-paneled office, Ridge's temper flared, his father's relentless push for a Brooke reunion igniting a familiar fury. Taylor makes me happy, Ridge growled, though the ghost of doubt shadowed his words. Eric's retort, "You're lying to yourself," echoed off the walls, a verdict Ridge dodged with the agility of a man long practiced in self-deception. The speculation swirling through Los Angeles elite circles reached a fever pitch. Did Carter Walton, the perennial heartthrob with a penchant for doomed romances, harbor a secret child? Fans dissected every glance, every cryptic comment, yearning for depth beneath his chiseled exterior. The possibility of a long-lost heir, a narrative mirroring Finn's recent paternal revelation with Luna, tantalized viewers craving layers to his character. Amidst this, Zende's bombshell, a whispered warning to Carter about Daphne's true motives, threatened to upend fragile alliances, while Hope's gnawing curiosity about Liam's absence brewed quietly. Why hadn't he visited Beth? The question gnawed at her, a splinter in her heart as she pieced together clues of his abrupt departure and whispered rumors of his cohabitation with Steffi. At Forrester's design studio, Will Spencer's admiration for Elektra's jewelry line bordered on reverence, their mutual attraction a slow burn against the backdrop of Luna Nozawa's lingering presence. Elektra's laughter, bright yet guarded, masked her insecurity. Could she outshine Luna's allure? The unspoken rivalry simmered, a tango of glances and half-smiles, while Luna's strategic charm threatened to tip the scales. As the sun dipped behind the Hollywood hills, casting the Forrester mansion in amber, Brooke found Ridge in his office, her touch on his arm a silent plea. "The world sees us together," she murmured, her breath warm against his cheek. Ridge's evasion, "It was just business," crumbled as she invoked their shared mantra, "I'm your Logan." The moment hung, suspended between past and possibility, while elsewhere, Carter scrolled through unanswered texts to Hope, Zende's warning a drumbeat in his mind. Daphne's confession to Katie replayed like a broken record, her sincerity clashing with Steffi's shadowy machinations. In the quiet of her empty apartment, Hope traced Beth's sleeping face on her phone screen, Liam's absence a void no apology could fill. Her resolve hardened. Answers were due, starting with Bill's cryptic fallout with Liam. Meanwhile, Elektra's design sketches fluttered in the evening breeze, Luna's perfume lingering in Will's studio as she accidentally brushed his hand. The stage was set, love and betrayal, legacy and redemption, woven into the glittering tapestry of Los Angeles' most powerful dynasty. As fans speculated and secrets simmered, one truth loomed: In a world where destiny was both weapon and wound, every heartbeat could unravel her empire. The Bold and the Beautiful explodes with intrigue as Daphne's long-simmering feelings for Carter Walton finally breach the surface with a raw honesty that threatens to undo more than just a few relationships. The backdrop is Los Angeles, but the emotional terrain might as well be a battlefield of betrayal, longing, and legacy. It all begins in a quiet dressing room, perhaps one of the few spaces left untouched by the chaos of Forrester Creations' backstage politics, where Carter Walton finds himself lost in a spiral of thoughts about Hope Logan. Their romance, a whirlwind of passion and complications, is still alive in Carter's heart, despite the toll it's taken on both of them. He sees something worth salvaging, something meaningful that transcends the transactional coldness of fashion politics and boardroom backstabbing. But when Zende Forrester Dominguez interrupts Carter's reverie with questions about Daphne, Carter is forced to ground himself again in the reality of his current predicament. Zende doesn't mince words. He senses something between Carter and Daphne that Carter won't acknowledge. Carter, ever the romantic idealist hiding behind his stoic exterior, insists it's all about Hope, that she is his North Star in a storm of confusion. But Zende, with his usual blend of charm and intuition, calls out what he sees. Daphne's intentions are far from innocent, and Carter's denial may be blinding him to a very different truth. Meanwhile, the plot thickens on another front as Katie Logan confronts Daphne in a stunning showdown. Katie, ever the protector of her family and moral compass of the Forrester Logan clan, demands answers. Did Daphne come to Los Angeles to help Steffi take down Carter and Hope? Daphne doesn't deny that she helped a friend regain control over Forrester Creations, but she insists there's more to the story. Katie doesn't buy the deflection. Her eyes narrow with suspicion as she leans in with one damning question: is Daphne just playing Carter? Daphne's response is layered. Accusations fly as she calls out Katie for still carrying a torch for Carter. And while Katie insists her motives are purely protective, it's clear that past emotions cloud her judgment. But then comes the bombshell. Daphne admits it. She's in love with Carter. The words hang in the air like smoke in a room that's just caught fire. It's a confession no one expected, least of all Katie, whose face contorts with disbelief. Daphne, unshaken, elaborates. She didn't expect it, didn't come to Los Angeles to find love, but it happened anyway. Her voice carries the ache of vulnerability, the kind that feels foreign on a battlefield as ruthless as the Forrester Empire. She's not here to scheme anymore, she's here to stay, for Carter. And in a twist of soap opera timing, Carter walks in just in time to hear it all. The dominoes begin to fall. Carter's confusion is palpable, his caught between Daphne's confession and his lingering desire to reconcile with Hope, who herself is undergoing a transformation. Hope, in a quiet moment with her mother Brooke, reflects on her recent choices. The coup at Forrester Creations, her affair with Carter, the fallout with Ridge, it all weighs heavily on her shoulders. She apologizes to Brooke, not just for what happened professionally, but for the ripple effect it had on Brooke's personal life.